All right, everybody, what's going on? It's going to get this watch list knocked out. It is February 22nd, 2021. Lots of stuff to watch today. Bitcoin's plays have been hot. Bitcoin is coming down a little bit today. If we look at Bitcoin's price here, it is coming off its highs a bit. So we might see some panics today in OTC world. I guess we'll find out. I mean, it's still pretty high up here near its highs. I wouldn't say this is a true sell-off. If this Bitcoin does drop down here though to 50K, we could see more of a panic all the way down. You know, it wouldn't be inconceivable to see it come down to 43 or even back to 38. I know Elon was putting some tweets out about Bitcoin prices being too high, so you never know. We can see what happens with that. But I'm keeping all the Bitcoin plays on watch just because if this does have a turnaround, I would expect those plays to stay pretty hot. And as you know, Bitcoin can have some very volatile movements, but it has been going up. I mean, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days straight. So it's definitely due for a pullback. Maybe that is the day today. And I'd be okay with that because that means we'll probably get some panics in the OTC world, which should offer some decent bounces. I would be surprised to see this kind of action right here on Bitcoin. So keeping Bitcoin on watch just so I know what's going on in the market for all my OTC plays. But let's dive into some of the charts. RETO is the top one on my watch list. So kind of disappointing that it's already ramping up here pre-market. It went up, I think it was like this went from $1 to $2. So yeah, this went 100% after market on Friday. And I don't usually play after-hour plays. I'm not a big fan of them just because there is a lot less volume. Market makers can definitely come in here and, they can do some manipulation. They can, drive the stock price up, or they can pull the rug out from under you. So I generally avoid pre-market plays. But this thing is still going. I mean, it dropped down to 1.8 here at 5 a.m. And then right when, you can tell right when people are able to buy it in most brokers at 7 o'clock, it just went straight up. Not a buy for me up here. Like I said, I don't like buying stocks pre-market like this. A lot of times what you'll see is that this could definitely go higher. This is almost a tactic that's done by market makers where they ramp up a price pre-market, and then right when the market opens, they pull the rug out. So I would be looking for a morning panic on this only. You could, if you're trying to play aggressively and risky, you could buy up here, or you could try to short something and have it come down. Not a play I'd recommend though. It's just too risky in my opinion. Not a lot of volume on this chart, so again, that's all something you have to look at. It's had some runs in the past, but on low volume. So we'll see what today does. I mean, it is already gapping up, I think, past multi-year highs. So, yep, multi-year highs. So it is right now around here. I don't know why it's not showing it on my chart. So this is definitely a massive, massive, massive breakout. But I would expect to see some sell-off here pretty soon. As you can see, it's already coming down. So we'll see where this base is out at pre-market. And if it if it keeps going higher, good for you guys who are in it. But I'm going to wait till the market opens, and I would like to see some sell-off. I'm not going to try and do guessing games here pre-market. It's just not a strategy I found much profitability in. It can work, but if you saw just right there, it just bounced from $3 to $3.15, $3.16. So you got to keep your risk a little bit wider on these kind of plays because they can turn on you on a dime. So to keep this on watch. This could be a decent play today. Did it have any news? No, I don't see any news on it. So yeah, we'll see. Actually, no, right here. It had a SEC filing, and they had some news about they are receiving funding with launch of second high visibility Beijing Winter Olympics competition zone project. So they're going to be doing stuff for the Winter Olympics. That's cool. Good for them. Yep, so keep this on watch. It's a big percent gainer. I always say watch big percent gainers, but just be safe. It's very risky to buy a pre-market. BFCH, this is one of my top watches. This went nuts the other day. I caught a little piece of this right up here. It was kind of hard to grab though. I mean, the markets were kind of different last week, with some of the OTCs gapping down, with COUV getting halted, I was playing pretty conservative on a lot of my OTCs just because I don't know how much these could keep going. If one stock gets halted, it's not inconceivable for other stocks to get halted, and for investors to get scared out. So I was playing a lot more conservative than normal. They did have some news. I think it was blockchain related. I don't remember. Yep, it was a blockchain play. So they have blockchain mining happening right now. So of course, that's what I'm going to be keeping my eye on all week. As long as Bitcoin stays hot, I'm going to keep my eyes on my news scanner. And if I see anything with Bitcoin, I'm going to try and jump in and try to get these momentum moves, because this is just a straight momentum move right here. And if you miss this initial ramp up, which is, it happens, you can definitely, get into these dips, these little pullbacks, and then risk the low a day. And this would have been a great 100% winner. Ran up great yesterday, had a great close. I believe it was the first green day. Yep, it was the first green day. It was a breakout. It had news. It had volume. Literally, the stars aligned on this one. So I'll be keeping it on watch again today. Ideally, I would really love a panic dip buy to buy into. Max panic down here at 38 cents would be fantastic. I don't know if we'll get that. It could just keep going. So I'll keep my eye on this really closely today. Again, ideally, I would really like to see a panic, but if it has more news, if people are still interested in this could, continue to go. So I'll keep it on close watch. Again, BTZI. This is another late day runner. I didn't buy this one at all. Towards the end of the day, I was actually done for the day, so I missed out on this one completely, which is unfortunate, but that is trading. And these guys are doing Dogecoin mining, which is funny. So the KNOS. Okay, so I'm going to pull up KNOS. So KNOS had news the other day as well. These guys are obviously related together. But KNOS, and this is what's so funny about penny stocks, is KNOS is an air filtration company. So they do they do air purifications. The technology, among other fundamentally changes the way air is moved, filtered, and sterilized. So I didn't see the news with BTZI first. I had KNOS on my scanners, and I saw the news come out on KNOS, and KNOS had the news alert coming out, basically saying that there we go. Okay, so it's a correction. So I'll pull this over here. So when this first came out, it didn't say correction. It said Chronos advanced technology to develop next-gen Dogecoin mining rig for installation on flagship line of air purifiers, Air Doge. So when you read that, it's literally an air purification company mining Dogecoin. Like, it's ridiculous, right? You're an air filtration company trying to now be a Bitcoin company, which I think is fucking hilarious. And as you can tell, I think the news came out right around here. Yep, news came out here. It spiked up, and I'm assuming the correction came out right around here. Yep, okay, yep, that was the correction. So the real move was for BTZI, which what time did this come out? 2:48. So look at that. So that's why BTZI spiked, because initially KNOS spiked off the news, then the correction came out, and then BTZI spiked. Now, what I think, because most of these penny stock companies are pretty scummy, I think that was a purposeful thing that they did. I think they released the news to get their stock price to go up, and then once they started coming back down, they're like, oh, bummer, let's put out the correction, and BTZI went nuts. So BTZI was the actual company that was actually doing the Bitcoin related stuff. But that's stuff you have to look at. When I saw that news, I didn't buy this at all, because I literally looked at it and I was like, you're a air purification company mining Dogecoin. Now, you can definitely buy this volatility. I will not tell anyone not to do that. That's a good buy day in and day out. If you see this news right when it comes out and it's Bitcoin related, you see volume coming in, that's a buy. But it's also an instant sell as soon as it spikes. This isn't a long-term hold. And you have to make sure you look at these companies and double check the news that comes out. Because just because they're doing mining Dogecoin and it's hot, that's obviously what these companies like to do. These little scummy companies love to put out fake PR saying we are this now because we know it's going to get our stupid little stock price up. Back when Tilray and CGC were running back in 2017, every single little weed company was non-weed company was literally putting stuff out like, we're a weed company now. There was like a company that did I can't remember the ticker now, but they were like a sheet metal company, and they said they were going to look into using cannabis plants to enhance their products and be an alternative to X, Y, and Z, basically essentially making them a hemp company. And the stock price went up, and then it came back down because people realized what the fuck they were actually trading. So yeah, so just keep that in mind. BTZI, I'm going to be watching this. We'll see if it can continue to gap up. Again, I like my panic dip buys, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on. If I don't get my panic dip buys, I mean, whatever. That's how it goes. Retro now back down to 291. This is why you don't chase price action, people. It's down to 291 already off about 15-20% off its highs. Swarm. This is another all-day spiker. They had some live streaming service news. Again, I didn't trade this one. I was trying to get my panic dip buys yesterday. Didn't feel comfortable in these one-day green days, so I played it pretty safe. Probably too safe, honestly. But this was another breakout on the daily chart. Would have been a good buy throughout the whole day. I stayed away from it, but these are the plays that you can play. I mean, this is solid. And I played a little bit too safe, but you know what? That's okay. Protecting gains is the name of the game. And sometimes, as much as it sucks losing out on profits, it doesn't hurt to not lose money. So played it more safe. I might be more aggressive today. We'll see what happens with the markets. I'm not going to try and force anything. I'm just going to take what comes to me. But I have seen now 1, 2, 3 spikers in a row, all day runners. So that in my mind now makes it a shift. Like, okay, this might be a pattern that is going to start coming out more often now in the markets and the OTC lands. So now it's going to be something I'll be focusing more in on. Whereas the last couple of weeks, it was all panic tick buys. So you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to change on what the market gives you. CBTC, another Bitcoin play. Literally just going to do the same thing. It broke out. Going to be watching for a panic as well. If it doesn't panic, I'll be watching for some midday consolidation to potentially buy into. BTSC, this thing's been hot. I mean, this has been on my watch list almost every day. Had a really nice company handle here on the daily chart. This break past 11225 would have been great. Now it's just been kind of consolidating. We'll see what I can do today. It hasn't been moving as smoothly as I would like. It did have a nice panic the other day, which I did buy into. I made a nice little chunk on this panic dip buy on Friday, but it didn't really have much else. Or sorry, this was not Friday. This is Thursday. On Friday, it didn't have much of a panic. I did buy this one as well. So I'll be looking for more of this action today. We'll see what happens. But you can tell it's been really choppy. It did have a nice spike, then it came all the way back down, gave back its gains for the day, bounced perfectly off this 14-cent level. I thought about buying here because it was on my main watch. But, I mean, this choppiness I just didn't like. I didn't know if it had the legs to go. Turns out it did. It did have some nice spikeability, but I wouldn't have probably profited much on this. I mean, it was only a 13% bounce, and it was a choppy bounce at that. I probably would have only made 7-8% on this, and I'm not trying to go too heavy on afternoon fades that I think I can only make 7 or 8% on. So I'll see what it does today. If this thing kind of continues to fizzle out or keeps going red because after the consolidation period on the daily chart, I will probably take it up on watches for a while until it starts to heat back up. DIGAF, another late day spiker. Again, same pattern. Same thing. I keep doing every single day, guys. It's not rocket science, and honestly, that's how you stay consistent. You just do the same plays that make you money. So I'll keep this on watch again for a panic dip buy, and that is it. Those are my main watches. I mean, there's a lot of other plays going on today. Retro now, this might be a bounce opportunity here. It's 2.8 levels, so we'll see how it reacts there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I have HIPH on my watch list. I got RIOT up. I always keep RIOT and Mara on my separate screens. And the reason I do that is they are the market leaders. So if you guys are trying to trade any sector, you need to figure out who the market leaders are, because a lot of times the sympathy plays of the other penny stocks or stocks related to that sector, they tend to follow the leader. So weed, you have Tilray and CGC. Crypto, it's RIOT and Mara. So I just keep those on watch. So if one of them is fading, I kind of have an idea of what's going on with the overall sector. Obviously, the big leader for Bitcoin plays is obviously Bitcoin. So you need to watch Bitcoin as well because they're going to follow Bitcoin. With weed, it's Tilray, CGC. So when Tilray and CGC are running up crazy, it was easy to guess that a lot of the weed stocks would follow suit. They don't go exactly at the same time. They generally take there'll be some laggers. Some of them will go faster or sooner than others. That's why you gotta have watch lists, you know, to keep all the weed stocks that ran on your watch list, keep all the Bitcoin stocks that ran on your watch list. So when you see these market leaders start heating up, you can just flip through your watch list and say, okay, this one's running. Okay, what's the chart on this one look like? And then maybe you start in a little bit early and get some really nice entries with small size. And then once it starts to speed up, you can add to those positions and you can actually make really, really big percentage gains on those tickers once they catch up to the market leaders. It's a little bit more risky because, you know, they may never go with them. But historically, if they ran in the past under those names, they will run again because investors and traders like myself, we understand that. So we're going to be looking at those stocks to try and profit off those moves. So it doesn't hurt to be a little early on those big moves that the big boys are having to get into. Some other stocks I am watching on my other screens. I got SIRC, ENZC, AABB. That thing has been a great panicker throughout the last couple of weeks. And ALYI, HQGE is another one that's panicked really well. These sub-penny plays have been hot. They're a little bit scarier because the price movements are pretty volatile. But I mean, they got some big opportunities to offer. So I'm keeping those all on my watch list, all on my screens. Again, we'll see what happens today. I'm not going to try and force anything. I want to start this week off strong. And you know what? We'll see what we get. If you guys want to learn how to trade some of these, you want to learn different strategies, you want to get my more in-depth watch list where I take you through each stock one by one, and we build out trade plans for them for you to do throughout the day. Join my mentorship program. I'll link it below as always. We have quite a few members now. I think we got about, not quite a few, we got about 4 or 5 new members in the mentorship program now, and they're loving it. They're seeing some good returns, and they're building that knowledge account more than anything else. So if it's something you want to learn, I mean, now is the time while the market's hot. You don't want to try to learn when the market's cold because you're not going to get the opportunity to see as many of these plays happen in front of you. And that's really what it's about, is seeing the plays happen in front of you so you can get those reps in, like going to the gym. So, if you're interested in learning, I'm here for you. So thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope this helped. And I will see you later today or tomorrow or whenever I see you. All right, guys. Peace.